Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is about post-grad life, and post-grad depression and things you're going to deal with when it comes to post-grad. And I'm here to make your life easier. When I first graduated in May, I was super nervous. I kept searching up everywhere. How do I deal with post-grad? How do I deal with this depression? Like, am I like in that right now? Like, I was so confused. And then literally 2 weeks after I started my job, so I really didn't get time between graduating and starting my job. Like, it's just like an ongoing thing, and it kind of just burnt me out a little bit. But that's gonna lead into my first advice for you all, which is to not start your job immediately after. If you get a job offer, try to take a month in between, or try to take 2 months in between, or as much time as you can before you start work. Because once you start work, you're just gonna be on this ongoing basis until you have a break at work, or like, you know, if you have like a long weekend. Try to have some space in between to give yourself like acknowledgement of, oh yeah, I just graduated, that is a huge accomplishment, and then okay, now I can start my job. So I didn't do that. I just wanted to get money. I was just like, I really just want to go on and on and on until it literally smacked me in my face. You're not gonna do what I did. You're gonna take that time in between. If your job does not allow you to do that, then that's okay. But if you do have that flexibility to push back your start date, I highly recommend you to do that. So yeah, I was just always like on the go. Like, it was like an internship I finished, it was a job I was doing, it was like senior year done, and then graduation done. My whole goal of graduating debt free finished off, right? And now I'm like, what is my next few goals? What am I doing in life? That literally hit me really hard. So having all these questions right when I graduate, and it leads into me starting my job very early, which also is another stress factor. So this is going to lead into my next advice. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. But when I started my first, I wouldn't consider it corporate, but I love my job. I'm not bashing my job at all. There was just a lot of stuff that I had to learn. I had to learn like work-life balance, like mental health stuff, and I had to learn so much stuff that was so different from school. I was constantly tired. I was constantly drained. I was constantly like, I didn't have in between breaks. When I was working, it was just like a constant thing, like a constant 8-hour shift. So that's a big thing that I realized, that when I was at school, I had breaks to take, naps, to be in my dorm, and you know, like I had a lot of time in between classes. Oh, when I started my job, I literally would work for 8 hours. I would come home, I'd be so drained, and I would just nap all day, and I'd be like, this is what people in 9 to 5 go through. Like, I did not know that. I literally was like, this is just not real. Like, I give you guys a very big advice that I wish I could have gotten, which is that when you're starting your job, you're going to be very anxious, you're going to be making mistakes, you're going to be stressed out and overwhelmed for the first few months. Like, that is something that is going to happen. For at least 5 months, I was like kind of like overwhelmed because there was so many things like thrown at me, and it's not because my job is a lot, it's just because like I didn't know how to like acclimate to this new type of environment, new type of like system of doing things every single day. So be nice to yourself. You need to take care of yourself. That is the biggest thing in post-grad. Take care of yourself. I realized over like, you know, a few months of being at my job is that it gets better. Like, you literally start to learn the job, you start to have a routine, you know, understand like your workplace culture, and then you kind of like work around that, and like you'll have time after your job, and you'll make time. So I eventually made time. I started my job, I had to literally make so much lifestyle changes. In college, I would go out, I would drink, you know, I would smoke, I would have a good time. That was my lifestyle in college. Now when I started my job, I was like, I cannot do these things, because every time I went out, I could not show up my best self on Mondays. You know, always be so tired, so groggy, and I'd be like, why do I feel this way? So I had to eliminate so many things out of my life. The partying, the drinking, the smoking, just all of that. Saturday and Sundays go very fast. For me to go out Saturday, and for me to be hungover Sunday, and then for me to show up on Monday, that just didn't fit right in my schedule. So I had to literally eliminate everything when it came to drinking, when it came to going out. And I had to tell my friends, I'm not going out, sorry, like I have work. I'm constantly saying like I have work the next day, I'm at work, you know. That was like my new motto, I'm at work and I have work right now. So that's something I realized earlier on. That's why I had to cut all these stuff out. So a big thing I'm going to say to you is, you are going to have things that you're going to have to cut out your life when you start your new job, or when you're in post-grad. That's just how it's going to be. Adults can literally constantly go out and then show up for work. I know some adults can, with practice, obviously. But for me, I'm an adult where I can't do that. If you're a person who gets drained really easily, I'm telling you, it's going to be really hard to manage those two, your personal life and work. You're literally at work for 40 hours a week and you expect to go out on Saturday, be so drunk, and then show up, get over it Sunday, and then show up to work on Monday. So yeah, if you're a very strong soldier and you can do that, then feel free to do that. You know, ignore my advice on this area. But if you're a person like me who struggles to balance personal life and work life, I challenge you to let go of everything when it comes to drinking, smoking, going out, or try to limit it as best as you can. What helped me let go of that stuff is like, I've been there, I've done that, I did that in college. I don't need to take this into my new adulting era. You know, that's something that's in the past. I had fun, but this is not going to help me excel in my career or anything that I'm looking forward to doing in my life. It's literally not doing, you know, the drinking, the clubbing, all that's going to be there. But for me personally, I felt like I have so much to succeed and so much self-growth to achieve that stuff is just holding me back. So I had to let go of all of that. And with that, I had to let go of a lot of stuff when it came to my college lifestyles. I had to let go of certain people who were holding me back, and I felt like I didn't align with these people anymore. Like, you were in college and that's it, I have to let you go. So I tried to blend in my college stuff with, you know, my post-grad stuff, you know, post-grad life, and it just didn't work out. It was just clashing. I felt like I was in this area and I was trying to bring in stuff that I was comfortable with, and it just didn't work. It better notice yourself being an adult and growing a lot, and the best thing you can do is give yourself grace, because you're going to keep changing. It's going to be a very like big process of change, because you're gonna have to let go of certain stuff that you had in college, certain mindsets you're gonna have to let go of when you literally are in post-grad, because it's the real world. Things get serious, and wherever place you are in post-grad, things are serious, and anyone in post-grad right now knows that things get serious. My next advice is that you're gonna get through it. I literally constantly kept asking myself the question of like, is this real? Like, is this the depression part? Like, what is happening to me, you know? And I promise you it's gonna get easier. I'm literally like 8 months into post-grad, I think, and it did get easier. It significantly got easier for me. And one question you're gonna keep probably asking yourself is like, what am I gonna do with my life? Like, what is happening? This like dreading feeling of like, what am I doing? In college, you had that end goal of, hey, I'm gonna graduate. But in the real world, you don't know what your goals are. You are the one that's setting your goals. So that is a very big important thing when it comes to post-grad. You're setting your own goals in every area of your life. So I made a whole video about goal setting, vision boards, which I'm gonna link down below. You can go check that out. Anything that's small, you're gonna have to set those goals. And that is what's gonna keep you motivated, to keep you showing up for work, keep you showing up for yourself. And so I started getting into a lot of like self-development books, trying to help me with my mental health, because I was really going through it. It's so helpful for you to write down what you have done so far, and it's very important for you to keep constantly reminding yourself in the mirror that you are doing enough. You did this, you did that, you did this, you know? So it's like the constant reminder. Write those down in your notes sheet, and it's gonna help you so much, because you're gonna keep track of the small wins. No matter like whatever it is, you're gonna keep track of the small wins, and that's gonna help you so that you can eliminate these fears, these like thoughts that are just not real. Like, everyone has these thoughts, I promise you. And so make it easier for yourself to keep reminding yourself that you are doing enough. That is all you have to do. You know, challenge those thoughts. My last piece of advice is that you're gonna go through it. Like, that's just like the hard, cold truth. You're gonna go through it. No matter if you're looking for a job, no matter if you have your job, no matter like if you're settled, and you're gonna keep, you know, going through that. And I personally hate change. So I hated change, but you know, I'm getting through it. And the only way to get through it, get through this time, and make it easier for yourself, is to keep reaffirming to yourself that it will get better. It will get better, and that you're gonna find a way to deal with all of these feelings, all of these thoughts. And I'm gonna share with you guys what I did to help myself. So literally, I started therapy, I started meditating, I started journaling, I started going to the gym, I started doing things that made me happy, and I started slowly implementing that into my schedule. So I would go to work and I'd like add small things into the day. Like, it was really hard for me to even make prayers, but I started like, you know, being gentle with myself and saying prayers are mandatory, you have to do this, then you're gonna go to the gym afterwards, okay? You can rest for like 30 minutes, an hour in between work and going to the gym, and then you're gonna go to the gym, you're gonna come back, you're gonna have 2 hours, 3 hours to yourself, then it's time to like wind down. So I made my routine easier for me to follow. So it's very important for you to find a routine for you, and you're gonna have to set in things that make you happy, whether that's hanging out with friends, whether that's going out on a walk, things that make you happy, things that bring you energy, because you're gonna be drained when you're at work 8 hours a day. That's just the reality of it. That's all over the place on LinkedIn, like anywhere, social media. Work-life balance is a big thing. So you're gonna realize that work-life balance is huge, and you're gonna have to find that balance. So do things that make you happy. Do things that help you connect to your inner child. I started going to the gym. It was like a whole game changer for me. Like my mental health was so much better. I felt so like energized, and I was just like, okay, I feel like replacing going out with the gym was the best thing I ever did. And then when I added therapy to that, I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling really great because I'm taking care of my mental health to show up for other areas of my life. So this whole new lifestyle, these changes are completely different from what I was doing at school. I was not really taking care of myself, only like minor things, you know, but I wasn't really like taking care of myself. So yeah, the feeling, the dread of post-grad, the depression, it might be there, but you're gonna get over it, and you're gonna like find ways to better cope with it. The feeling is always gonna be there. That's just how people are always navigating. You're gonna always have that feeling, am I doing enough? Am I where I need to be in life? I have those feelings, but what makes me happy is to go to therapy, to go to the gym, to literally take care of myself mentally, whether that's journaling, whether that's literally talking to myself in the mirror, whether that's reading, anything that brings me joy, or even this YouTube channel I do outside of work, and that gives me meaning to my life. And so that's completely different from everything I did in college, but that is like the real world, you know. I don't have assignments, I don't have tests to like keep me going. College, like everything is just at a fast pace, you know. I think everybody who's in college knows that everything is in a fast pace, and when you're in the real world, things kind of slow down a little bit, and like the real world kind of like hits you hard, because you're like, what do I do? Like, what makes me happy? You have a lot of time, you know, to yourself after work, and you're gonna have to figure out like what is truly bringing me true happiness, and what is building me to my authentic self. So that is something I was going through. Alright, so I'm gonna close out this video by one last point that I want to make, that you're gonna compare yourself to everyone during this process, and that's the worst thing you can do. It's gonna rob you out of your happiness, and it's just not the best thing you can do. Like, it's just such a horrible feeling to compare yourself to someone else because you think they have it all good, or you don't like your life, and it's just like, it's not a good, healthy process. You know, your life is in the works during post-grad. You're not perfect, and you know, you're going through changes, so the worst thing you can do is compare yourself. What I did is I removed social media off my platforms. I have no social media, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on myself. I'm literally going to not compare myself. Social media is the rabbit hole of comparing yourself, so make it easier for yourself. Delete social media, delete anything, or remove anything that's gonna make you compare yourself. Like LinkedIn, don't go on LinkedIn, okay? You're gonna see so many posts of people getting jobs, and that's gonna make you compare yourself. But I promise you, like, it's not worth it. Like, I did it, and I'm telling you that it's not worth the comparison. Like, no one knows what they're doing in life, in your life. The more you add things that make you happy throughout post-grad, you're gonna stop comparing yourself less. And also, the comparison part is gonna be throughout your life, no matter what point you are in. And that is it for my video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this sit down talk video. This is my first time doing this, so I hope I didn't ramble your head off, but I wanted to be very real with you all and honest with you guys of my post-grad experience. Hopefully it helps you all when it comes to your post-grad experience. If you're dealing with any post-grad depression, post-grad problems, like any of that, any advice you might want, please feel free to book an appointment with me. I'm here to help you all, help you navigate these challenges. I know I went through a lot during my post-grad, and I want to just help make yours easier. But yeah, thank you all.